in the fall. In the fall of this year.
And Work the World is available on your streaming.
Well, available right now, yes. It's 12 episodes, each one focused through the tour through the eyes of the Queen on the tour.
And before we open up to questions from the audience, that service, just explain a little bit about that service and what all is offered through it.
Yeah, Wow Presents Plus is a sort of upgraded version of our Wow Presents YouTube channel, and we produce a lot of original content for it. Drag Race, there's Drag Race Thailand, Drag Race Chile, Drag Race UK is coming, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be more local drag races, and they'll all be on Wow Presents Plus, as well as original programming around sort of drag related, but not only drag related. Because I think even though we do lots of different things, they have there's a sort of DNA that is similar that links them all, and we just wanted people to have that opportunity to see it all in one place.
Any questions from the audience? It's hard for me to see. So the mic's coming around, sorry.
This is less of a question and more of a slight pitch. But have you ever thought about doing, I'm curious to know what you think about doing an international drag awards show, and if you think that the world is ready for that, and if that could work on television.
Well, I think that is a good idea. I mean, there's award shows for practically anything now, so yeah. But also, I mean, one of the ways we tried to expand on Drag Race was by creating DragCon, so that there's a sense in which people can come together, because I think, Drag Race is, at the end of the day, it's Rue, obviously, and it's also the talent of the queens who are on it. And by extension, the fans who watch it are often drag inclined, and so to provide an opportunity for the tribe to come together and meet each other and hang out, that was the idea behind DragCon. We also have to be very, since we make Drag Race, we have to be very impartial, not to. The competition is the prize, and we mustn't show favoritism. We try very hard not to show favoritism. So I think it's a good idea.
Another question right here.
Hi there.
I know.
So I have an 11-year-old daughter who's a massive fan, so first of all, from her to you, thank you very much. But sort of also alongside of that, I took her to a fashion show recently in a local school, and all of the various people came out and they were showing fashions that they designed, and then someone came out in drag, and the crowd went absolutely wild. So of course it occurred to me, as it's occurred to you and here, that we're in a moment, right? That we're in a moment in time where that attitude has really changed about drag and about gender fluidity. And I'm wondering, because you've probably spent some time thinking about this, what are the forces at work? Like, what is happening in the Kismet that has allowed this opening? I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
Well, I think that's a really great question. Drag Race it's been 10 years, and initially I would go to the UK and go pitch and say, you really should make a Drag Race UK, and then the commissioning editors, executives were like, yeah. Even winning the Emmy, they were still, it's great. But it was when, and this happened so many times, people stood up and said, my kids love this show. And so the answer to the question is, I think it is about kids. And Whitney Houston, I believe the children of the future, they don't have these constricted ideas of gender stereotyping. They don't seem to follow the rules that we've all grown up with, for better or probably for worse. And they just don't care. And I have a son, he's 12 years old, and I actually don't think he's gay, but he loves Pride, and he's gone and bought the sneakers, and he wears all his Pride stuff. They don't care, and I think that gives me such hope, because there are forces afoot, and they're not all good forces. And I think, that's why we made this film about the Statue of Liberty, because this is a time in America where that idea of everybody being welcome, give me your tired, your poor, is being flatly rejected. This is a time in America when people are building walls and talking about hatred and fear of other people, as opposed to inclusiveness. So I think it's a really important time, and I think the kids are going to save us from this nightmare.
Another question right there.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you about, there was a BBC Three programme called Drag Queen at 16, which then has become a really successful musical. Everyone's talking about Jamie. I just wondered what you thought about that. And also, I think because of your work and obviously because of that musical being so successful, when the BBC replayed that documentary recently, I love the documentary, it's made by a friend of mine, and I just think it's brilliant. But it also just kind of wouldn't have been possible to make it now, because attitudes have changed such a lot. And the story, is a boy who wants to go to his school prom in drag, age 16, and the school say no. And certainly in the UK, I just know that wouldn't happen now.
Because now you could go to the prom in drag.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, my first reaction when everybody's talking about Jamie, the documentary, was one of jealousy, because we hadn't made it, someone else had. But I've seen the musical, it's absolutely fantastic, and I've cried buckets. And Michelle Visage has played the teacher, and I think now Bianca Del Rio is doing a spell as the teacher. I mean, it's a great musical, and it's that journey from a documentary to a musical, it happens so fast. And it's a great show, and everyone should see it. I think it's fantastic. And I think in America it might be harder for kids to go to prom in drag than, sometimes the UK is a little bit more ahead. But they just had this horrendous gay bashing on the bus. Like, it's pockets, isn't it? It's not a consistent acceptance, and I think that's what we all have to fight for. Even if you're straight, it's surely about inclusiveness. That's loving one another and being inclusive, which I just think is so much what we need.
Another question? Here in the front row.
Hi, my name is Ryan Cooper. I'm a huge fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm really happy that there was a Canadian in the final this year. My question is, are you ever going to put more or add women to RuPaul's Drag Race? More like drag king type of format, or change the format in any type of way in the future?
That's a really good question. I mean, we have had trans people have been on the show in different seasons, and this year the winner of season 2 in Thailand is trans. And what we say is, the only things we screen for are charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Another question?
How do you select drag queens to be in the All-Stars seasons?
To be in All Stars? Well, they don't always want to be in All Stars, actually. So we ask them if they'd like to do it, and then it's just a sort of group process. There isn't really a method. It's like who we think might be good, who might want to do it. Yeah. Sorry, that's a very good answer to your question. Somehow we do.
We have time for a couple more. Oh, there? Just wait for the mic, sorry. Thank you.
Can we just talk about Pose for like a couple minutes, or no, you don't want to? What do you think of Pose?
I love Pose.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a Ryan Murphy junkie, and I love pretty much everything he's done. I think it's fantastic. I haven't watched the new season, I have to say. But I think it's pretty great, and I think that era and that story, I mean, it's amazing. It's a great thing in terms of visibility, and I think it's all part of this increased visibility. That this idea that why shouldn't these stories be on television or on the screen? Any more?
In terms of, as a producer, when you're pitching a show and in terms of casting, you know, I want to cast a wide net. I don't like to, you know, pigeonhole casting. So if you have any suggestions for when we're talking to broadcasters or networks in making sure that, you know, we are including LGBT community and because I feel like that's still nowadays an issue. There's not enough casting of that community.
Right. I think from a casting point of view, the thing that we always hear from networks is they just want characters that leap off the screen. And funny enough, I find in America, it's less about that sort of barrier to entry or that stigma against LGBTQ plus has kind of gone away in large measure because often we are great characters and we just pop off the screen. So, and I think when casting it is so much of unscripted really is it's all about characters really. I mean, they are the stars of the medium. So just great characters. Is there a question there?
Is there any plans to move more into the scripted space, or are you just sort of sticking to unscripted?
No, we are. You know, the thing about scripted is it just takes so long. It's just like, you know, and you have to have all sorts of attachments and impressive dimensions and aspects. We made a film a few years ago called Out of Iraq. That's a documentary about two Iraqi soldiers who met and fell in love during the Iraq War. It's a true story. And they were separated when their families found out. They had, you know, warrants against their lives taken out, so they had to flee. One came to America, and the other, after a long process, managed to emigrate actually here to Canada. And it's a beautiful love story, and we're trying to turn that into a feature film. Eyes of Tammy Faye, a documentary we made years ago, is actually just been announced as it's going to be a feature film with Jessica Chastain is playing Tammy Faye, and Andrew Garfield is playing Jim Baker. So
That's incredible.
that's pretty exciting. And I tell you, it was a weird moment reading the script. You know, reading a script that says the eyes of Tammy Faye. You're like, that's our documentary. And then you're reading, and you're like, I know this scene because it's like, it was written out from the documentary. I mean, they've elevated it, I have to say. You know. So I'm excited, very excited for that. But I wish